Invest 95L is currently moving in the in the Atlantic Ocean. It's getting a little bit better. There's more convection right here. It looks a little bit better than it did last advisory right here. Yeah, there's some more, but still not where it was. The latest is out on Invest 95L according to the NHC. Showers and thunderstorms associated with a tropical wave and broad area of low pressure located a little more than 900 miles southwest of the Cabo Verde Islands have become less organized since yesterday. However, environmental conditions are expected to be conducive for development during the next few days, and a tropical depression is likely to form over the weekend. This system is expected to move westward to west northwestward across the tropical Atlantic during the next several days. Formation chance through 48 next 2 days is still at 70%. The formation chance in the next 5 days is still 80%. So still a very high likely chance that this is going to develop into a tropical system. We're going to start with the tracks models, then we're going to go to the intensity. So for the next 36 hours, all these models except for the CEMI agree that it's going to continue its westward path. The CEMI, I'm just going to go ahead and disregard this entire model completely because it first has it moving to this moving west southwest, and then it just has it jumping up to the west northwest, and then it has this turn a week out. That's very likely not going to happen, so I'm just disregarding this. This is an outlier. I mean, it could happen, but it's just an outlier. So for now, I'm disregarding this at this point. So for the next 36 hours, their models are in agreement that it's going to continue to move due west, and then after that, starting after around 36 to 48 hours, it's going to start making a bit of a turn towards more to the west northwest, and then 3 days out, there appears to be a split in the models essentially. The HMNI and the HMN2 have it moving over to the west past Martinique and Saint Lucia at the in the Lesser Antilles. So yeah, and have it going into the Caribbean Sea. So I'll be keeping an eye on that. The rest of them, though, have it continuing its west-northwest path at this time. It's moving. Yeah, now the TVCN and the HWFI have it moving more north of the Leeward Islands, while the AVN2 has it moving through parts of the Leeward Islands, Lesser Antilles, through the Virgin Islands, into Puerto Rico and past the Dominican Republic. So that's certainly a possible scenario at this time. These two have it more north past the Leeward Islands, past the Virgin Islands. If you ask me, even though it's a little too early to tell, this is the more likely option right here, somewhere in the middle of these three models. They're the more likely option at this point. If it does end up making landfall in parts of the Leeward Islands and the Virgin Islands, it happens. But right now, it's just too early to really tell at this point to know what's going on. But what we can tell you is that next 36 hours, it's going to be moving westward, and that's going to start its turn in about 2 days. So after that, after that point, it's just a wait and see at this time. This thing isn't even fully developed into a depression yet, so this is just all too early to really tell. But that's my best guess, judging off the data I have now. Now, this is the intensity models right here. It's a 30 mile per hour invest. It's a 25 knots. So all these models agree that it's going to be a tropical storm. Question is how strong of a tropical storm at this point. The AVN2, which seems pretty plausible at this point, has it going through the Leeward Islands, into the Virgin Islands, into Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic. It's all contingent that it just stays a invest for the next 36 hours, then strengthens, and then after starting to make those impacts, it starts weakening back to a depression and everything, which is plausible, but it's too early to tell, so I'm sort of disregarding this intensity model. The HMN2 and the HMNI, so they have it going into the Caribbean at this point. So it's just but with those two models, it's too early to tell, disregarding those. CEMI, I'm disregarding this because this is based on the fact that it's going to go on its path that it's going. I'm disregarding that. The rest of these, though, have it going up to a strong tropical storm. A few of them, the rest of them have it going up to a hurricane. Actually, HWFI and the DSHP has it going up to a Category 2 hurricane. But at this point, it's just too early to speculate. At this point, it's too early to speculate if this is going to be a Category 2 or a Category 3 or even a Category 1 hurricane. What I can say, it is likely to be a tropical storm at some point during its life, which means we could see another. We're going to see another named storm, but it's too early to speculate that if this thing's going to be a hurricane or not at this time. It's not even fully developed at this point. It's just too early. That's the only issue we have. I would agree with these models, except for the fact that they go out like 5 to 7 days out, and at this point it's not very responsible of me to really speculate on when and how strong if it's going to be a hurricane or not, especially considering it's still too early at this point. So we're back at the satellite imagery. As you can see, there's some more convection, some more blowups, especially in the northern part of the system right here. There's a huge amount of blowups right here of the storms and everything. I'm going to play around with the modes real quick. We're going to start with the visible high resolution right here. It's going to take a little bit, but here we go. So yeah, it looks a little bit more organized now than it did like a few hours ago, but still not there just yet. These things take time. I'm going to go back to this and explain this. Like, for it to become less organized and more organized, that kind of thing, like I said before, that kind of thing is natural for these things to do. Sometimes they can really tighten up, then calm down, then cycle back and really tighten up and become a tropical depression, and so on and so forth. So let's go to the visible shortwave at this point. So this is about 90 frames out. You can see what's going on here, and there you have it. It's looking better than it was, but again, still speculative at this point. This is the water vapor imagery we have right here. Again, better than it has been, but it's still not quite there yet. All of these agree, and this is a pretty cool model. This is a pretty cool thing in my opinion. This is a true color, basically. This is the color of the ocean. Everything. This is the true color zoomed out model at this point. So yeah, I know you can't see that, but I'm reading it out for you. So there we go. This is even on here, looking better, not there just yet. It's still early. There's a lot left for this thing to do before it becomes a tropical depression, but it has time. It's over those warm waters. The environment is still good for it to develop. I'll be keeping a very close eye on this. An update on Invest 96L will be coming out shortly, so be sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more updates.